Hello, I am the Clapper Loader, and without me there are no films. I'm back today with another film / movie that is on my list of horror. You can dissect it into different genres of horror, like psychological horror or, slasher horror. This actually doesn't fit anywhere as far as I can tell. Yeah, I don't know where to put this film because it has a lead that's a child. Now, there have been child killers before, obviously like in The Omen in the 70s. Alice, Sweet Alice, if I'm not mistaken. But again, those are a little different from this. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the little girl who lives down the lane. And if you are a horror movie fan, you will know that title's pretty ominous. This is based on a play and a novel. So I believe it was from the novel and then a play and then the film. So this stars Jodie Foster, who I think she was acting at such an early age. When you watch her in this movie, you don't get the sense that she's acting. If she is acting, it's definitely a method type acting. I mean, I bought the story hook, line, and sinker. Although this film came out in 1976, I don't believe I saw the film until the 80s. I was a little older, meaning probably around the same age as the character in the movie when I first saw this. And I was not scared, like slasher movie scared, but I was holding my breath, hoping, because I was young, hoping that the girl didn't get hurt. I identified with her because we were around the same age when I first saw the film. So again, the film stars Jodie Foster. Here's a huge cast. Martin Sheen, who I still hate him for this role. Alexis Smith, who plays Martin Sheen's character's mother. Mort Schumann, who plays an officer. And Scott Jacoby, who, if you are a TV show and film, fanatic, you will know of the Jacoby family. I think there was Billy, Scott. I know they had a sister and another brother. Their names escape me at the moment, but there were several Jacobys acting, and I do believe that he's related to them. One of the things that I tend to really like about films are film scores, and this one does not leave you wanting more. This film score is so retro, but at the same time, it is so, it sets the mood for the film. It definitely speeds up when it needs to, slows down when it needs to. It's poignant when it needs to be. There's a piece of music in the film that's strings. Listen, again, like I said before with Magic 1976, when you watch these films, if you are really into film scores, you will appreciate this one. It takes some beats from kind of like the 70s rock, and then it goes into these beautiful strings all in one film. So, the film itself was released in May of 1976. I grew up with my mom influencing me to watch this, or just having heard her mention it, like she really, really liked it. I'm not sure when she first saw it, but I remember she loved it. And It focuses on the main character, played by Jodie Foster, whose name is Rin, and she is 13 years old, and she lives in a house that her dad and her are renting, and in their garden or orchard area outside their home, the lady that they are renting this home from is just the biggest beast. Doesn't mind trampling over the renter's rights, if you will, to make her presence known in the home. And she bursts in and confronts Rin. And, Rin is just trying to maintain everything, as you will learn in the film. She's just trying to cope and maintain with everything. I'm not quite sure that she realizes what she's doing or, can do it all by herself, but she's trying to hold everything together. And here we go with the Martin Sheen character. Now, his character is, oh boy, I don't even know how to say it. His character is a perv. There you go. His character is a perv. And you immediately know, as soon as he steps into the frame, as soon as you see his face, he embodies his character so much. He does not hold back. And, Martin Sheen, I think this was my first exposure to him as an actor. He's got some expressions, some looks that he can give. And I've noticed this throughout his acting career, that he doesn't need to say anything. You just immediately can pick up on what's going on here. And he delivers a just gut-wrenching performance, meaning like my gut was just in knots, because I wanted him to go away forever. I didn't want him to be in the movie. I didn't want him to interact with Jodie Foster's character. I wanted him to go away. But of course, that that is the reason he was there. So Martin Sheen plays Frank Hallett, who is the son of Mrs. Hallett, who owns the house. And he, like his mother, makes his presence known, doesn't care about renters' rights, certainly doesn't care that he's imposing himself on the people that are renting the house from his mother. What I do know about this movie is it probably would not be made today. It is kind of like lightning in a bottle. It was the perfect movie, perfectly made at the perfect time in history to be able to enjoy this story, because it is enjoyable. Although I can't stand Martin Sheen's character. Mort Schumann plays Officer Ron Migliority, and they do make an attempt to correctly say his name in the movie Migliority, yes. So he's an officer, and he comes by and he's checking in on Rin and her dad and just making sure everything's okay. But the little hairs on the back of his neck are standing up, and he's just not kind of buying the whole story that Rin is giving him. And then we have Scott Jacoby, who's Mario. He's also related to Officer Migliority, and he basically stands up for Rin. And it is refreshing to see someone a little older than her, but just kind of take her under his wing as at first a big sister, and then, the birds and the bees kind of kick in, but there's no nudity or anything graphic like that. But, they're young and they kind of have a connection. And, this movie, even as I'm looking here right now at Wikipedia, it says it's an unusual theme. It definitely fits in the psychological thriller / horror genre. Definitely. Could you call it? No, you can't call it a slasher because there's no slashing. if I can say that about, teenage love, I don't know, but it's different. It's just a different movie, and I absolutely loved it. I still love it. As I say about many movies I've watched over the years, I find this one a hard watch. And what I mean is that I really have to be in a certain mood to sit down and watch this because of the Martin Sheen character and his interactions with Jodie Foster. And there are tons of videos that do a lot of background on the story and the making of the film, and you can watch those videos because they kind of ease my mind about the characters. I really, again, when I first saw this movie, I was around the same age as Rin, and I was around 13, and so it really unnerved me, as well as made me feel uncomfortable, but I was so elated at the score and all the revelations that kind of tied up loose ends. I was happy about that. And I was really, I wouldn't say happy, but just desserts at the end. It's available online. I know you can rent it. I'm not sure if there is a way to see it for free, but it's definitely worth a rental for all of those film fans out there who really like unique horror or unique films. It just doesn't fit into any category. It doesn't fit into one category. It's kind of like a crossover. And it's its own, like a snow globe, it's all in there. You shake it up when you watch it, and you just watch the snowfall and just enjoy the movie. And it will definitely stick with you, as it has stuck with me all of these years later. The little girl who lived down the lane, starring Jodie Foster, Martin Sheen, and those are the two main characters, Scott Jacoby. So that's my thoughts and revisiting of that particular film. Obviously, I will be back with another film for my Halloween series this month and for October as well. So I'm going to end this on a positive note and say, I'm the Clapper Loader, and without me there are no movies.